There is a famous debate between Maimonides, Rambam, and Nachmanides, Ramban, about the concept of prayer. Everybody agrees that prayer is a major component of the Jewish religion. After all, we learn at the beginning of Pirkei Avot that there are three pillars upon which the world stands: ala Torah, ala Avodah, ala Gimulut Chasadim. On Torah, the study of Torah, and Avodah means service, either in the temple or with prayer, and on the doing of good deeds. So everybody agrees that prayer is absolutely basic, and we see that our forefathers prayed, and we see that the prophets prayed. So everybody agrees that prayer is a major, major foundation of Judaism. The question is it actually a mitzvah? Do we find anywhere amongst the 613 commandments that God commands us to pray to Him? The Rambam Maimonides famously said, yes, it is. It is a mitzvah to pray each and every single day. You only have to pray once, in fact, according to the Rambam. And the Torah doesn't really specify what the prayer should look like, the actual text of the prayer. These were written by the rabbis. As long as it contains three elements. First of all, praise of Hashem. And then bakasha, you're asking your needs. And then you're saying thank you. According to Nachmanides, it is actually not one of the 613 mitzvot of the Torah to pray to God. It is a concept. It is something that we have to do. And it's a rabbinical mitzvah, but it's not a mitzvah of the Torah. However, there is one situation that they all agree upon. And this is in fact mentioned in our parsha. Our parsha speaks about the chatzotot, the silver trumpets, which Moshe was commanded to make. And the trumpets had a number of different uses. They were used to summon the elders of the camp, so Moshe could speak to them. They were used to summon everybody of the camp. They were used to break camp. There were different notes that were sounded. And they were also used ala tsar hatzorei retchem. If there was some type of difficulty, if there was some type of oppression that was happening, there was a drought, there was a famine, there was a locust swarm that attacked, whatever the case is. So then they would blow the trumpets. And the Rambam says it's a positive mitzvah from the Torah, lizok, to cry out, ulaharia b'chatzotzot, and to blow the trumpets. I'll call tzara shetavo, on any difficulty, on every tragedy, on any hard thing that's to come upon the Jewish community. So not just to sound the trumpets, which we don't do anymore, but lizok, to cry out to Hashem. If there's one instance where everybody agrees that there is a mitzvah, commandment to call out to Hashem in prayer, it is when there is difficulty. And in fact, we find this right at the beginning of our history, when the Jewish people were in Egypt and they were suffering as slaves. By Yizaku, it says they called out, they cried out to Hashem. And therefore, when we're going through a difficult time, the Jewish response has always been to cry out to Hashem. The last few months have been extremely difficult since the 7th of October. The pain and the suffering, the families of those who were killed, and the hostages and the soldiers, and in fact all of the prolific anti-Semitism across the world, it's been very, very difficult to deal with. And as a response to all of these things, other than all of the physical things and all of the different political things that we have to do, we have to cry out to Hashem. We have to call out to Him and say, please, Hashem, help us. And when we cry out to Him, no prayer is ever left unanswered. We don't know when it will be answered, we don't know the answer be. But the power of prayer is something that we learn in our Pasha we should do on any difficult situation. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.